Hi, and welcome to this lecture about prefabs. In the previous lecture, we have created two materials, but we haven't used them. So we'll go to Materials folder, Ground. You will drag it with the left mouse button and drop it on the plane. And the green material, we will drag it and drop it on both the cylinder and the cube. Now, prefabs are very useful in game development. When you have a game object that you built, you added multiple components to, and you are planning to use it many times in your game. Sometimes previously you just would have to make several copies of it. Then if you make another change, then you will have to go to each copy and make the same changes. It's very exhausting, and sometimes you can miss some copies that you don't add changes to, and can cause a lot of problems. With the prefabs, it's pretty simple. Prefab is a prefabricated game object. To create a prefab, for example, we can use a policeman and the cube. You just need to select both. You will select first the policeman, then the cube, and right click, create empty parent. It will add both game objects as children to a game object parent. We will change this one to policeman prefab, and to make this prefab, you just drag it and drop it in the asset folder. As you can see now, Unity has created an asset with the name policeman prefab 1.prefab, because I created another one before, so I just give it the number 1. To edit a prefab, you just double click. It will open the prefab in a separate window, same like the scene view. If you want to modify anything, you can modify it normally. So say we want to make the cube longer, so we will scale it in the X axis and the Z axis. We will make it really long. To save a prefab, it's automatically saving. Just click back, it will save the prefab. As you can see now, it has been applied to the scene. Although we have edited this one, we didn't edit the one in the scene. But since this prefab is an instance of the prefab in the asset folder, so it will be automatically updated. If you want to make another one, or to add another one to the scene, we just drag it and drop it to the scene. Another one. Now we have 3. If we want to edit again, we can see that it's pretty simple. We can reduce the length and click back. As you can see, all the 3 have been modified by the same edit that we made in the original prefab. If you want to make changes to, for example, this policeman and the cube without affecting the other prefabs, you can just right click, prefab, and unpack completely. This will disconnect it from the prefab, so any changes you make, it will not affect the other prefabs. You can make any kinds of prefabs using any game objects. Even one game object you can create a prefab from. You just drag it and drop it to the assets folder, then you can enter the prefab view and you can edit. You can add also components from the inspector panel. It will be added to the prefab in the scene. For example, we will add audio source, then back. Then when you check the capsule in the scene, you will see that it got an audio source. So that's it for the prefabs. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about animations. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.